get a cuppa and let's make this together. Well, actually, you're gonna need to pick up the bundle to get the recipe, but it's really easy. I have it ready to prep now. It's vegan, oil-free, and if you can eat oats, it's gluten-free. If you use gluten-free oats, of course. So let's get to this yummy recipe. It is another one from the Healthy Sweets ebook, and it's coffee cake. Looks delicious. And the recipe, it's pretty simple. There's a frosting that's not part of the main recipe. And what I'm using today is I made like a date-based cashew pudding the other day, and it's really thick, and that's what I'm going to use as the frosting. So let's get to the recipe. It is, I think I need a spatula. Here it is. These are my Eli Home spatulas, which I really love. I've talked about these before. Anyhow, getting to the recipe, so simple. We have, I can't tell you all of the ingredients, but the base is basically oat flour. And then we have some other dry ingredients. And then we add the wet ingredients here. And this is sweetened with maple syrup and naturally sweet applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. A little more wet ingredients here. And the only tweak I made in this recipe is I reduced the baking soda just a little bit because I can find myself, I'm kind of like, I pick up on baking soda in a recipe easily. So because there's both baking soda and baking powder in this one, I decided to just reduce the baking soda a tiny bit, like half. And that's the main batter. Just making sure everything's incorporated here. It already smells good. There's something about, I mean, as much as I love chocolate, and you know I love my chocolate, but there's something about the cinnamon in baked goods, cinnamon and those like warm, earthy spices that's really enticing. And a coffee cake offers that, right? It gives that very homey, comforting kind of aroma and flavor. Now, another little tweak I made to the recipe is I'm using a different size pan. So we put about half of this mixture in the pan. And the reason being is that I just wanted to use my square pan. That's all. So this is normally done in a loaf pan, which means baking it in this size of a pan in this vessel, it will bake quicker because it's not as deep. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it and modify the time slightly, but you guys follow the recipe as is. And then we have this streusel topping, which I've already mixed together, and we're just dabbing that over. Oh, that smells so good too. Yum, yum, yum. I think everyone's gonna like this one. Yeah, simple, simple. I love how simple it is. And then we're going to top it with more. Got to get a little bit in the edges, right? The edges get forgotten about, so let's get a little more on the edges. Then we're going to add more of the, rinse my fingers, the topping to cover that. We use the other half of the topping. I feel like this is going to be really good. Sometimes you get a sense of a recipe, and this one gives me the sense that it's going to be really good. And I don't think it's a big deal if you get everything covered, you know, like do your best to cover the streusel here, but you know, no biggie if a little bit doesn't get covered because we're adding a little bit to the top again anyhow. Good. Yeah, I love these spatulas because they're very sturdy. They don't break down and they're one piece solid. So nothing gets caught up in there and they don't come apart. They're very sturdy, dishwasher safe, and all of that good stuff. So I'll pop a link in the description as well if you guys want to check into these spatulas. They're my go-to. Okay, and then more of the streusel topping. Fun. I want to just kind of eat the streusel topping on its own, but I won't. I'll put it on there. This is going to be so cool looking when it's baked up too. Those little dabs of the streusel poking through are going to be really fun. Did I say fun about 5 times so far? Probably. How about I say cool? There, I gotta rinse my hands one more time because it's a little sticky. All right, so this goes into the oven. I'm gonna bake this now. Look at that. Smells good. Just so you can see it there without it tipping all to one side. I'm gonna pop it in the oven. I'm gonna come back and show you the deliciousness that comes out of the oven. Stay tuned. Hey, I'm back. I can't wait to show this to you. It smells amazing. Again, I love the cinnamon and those little bits of streusel, they are, again, fun. They look super fun in this batter. So here we go. Look at that. And it baked up beautifully in this. I'm glad I used this pan, and I think I baked it for 25 minutes. The recipe was 40 minutes in a different pan, so I did 25 minutes. And the reduction in baking soda did not have an effect, so I just used half a teaspoon instead of a teaspoon. And now this is actually still hot, so I'm going to let it cool to put all of the frosting on, but I do want to show you. This is the cashew pudding that I made, and it's really nice and thick, and it's thicker when it's in the fridge. So that's what I'm going to spread on top, and once it cools, I'm going to spread that on top and then refrigerate it. But I thought what I'd do is maybe just cut a little piece and put a little dollop of the frosting on it so we can try. What do you think? Which piece should I cut? We always want the, like that looks good because it's got a little bit of goodness there. I think I'm going to go right here. We want some of that streusel. So this is hot out of the oven. I don't want to disturb it too much because you know it needs to cool so it doesn't like crumble too much. Here we go. That's pretty perfect. There it is. You can see the streusel in there. Do you see that? There's the streusel right there. It smells amazing. I'm going to take a little taste of that. Now I'm going to put a little frosting on there. Going in. Oh my gosh, it's really good. Now it's melting a bit, so I better get to it quickly. Okay. I've made a few things from this ebook. This is by far my favorite. I would say buy the ebook to make this. I've made the chocolate chip skillet cookie. I've made the molasses cookies. This is my favorite. So buy the ebook for this. And I would try going with the baking soda that I mentioned, just half a teaspoon. If you feel like you pick up on the flavor a lot of baking soda, because I do. And I baked it in the square pan for 25 minutes. Absolutely my favorite from the ebook. Good stuff. So $49 for everything, valued at $7,700. And it's only for like a week and then it's gone. So pick it up, 99% discount on everything. You won't go wrong. You'll find enough in there to be happy with. I mean, I might pay $49 for this recipe. It's that good. Okay. Go pick it up. Link is in the description. Let me know what your favorites are. Okay, we'll see you soon. I'm not done yet. Sneak peek of what I'm making next. Raw carrot cake bars. Oh,